Hello everybody, today we're going to be talking about the 9 downsides of Rec Room. Some of these points are specific to VR players and the VR world in general, and some of them are Rec Room problems in particular. If you find this video helpful, then be sure to enter code TARA in your watch in game or hit the big old support button on my profile. It's free for you and helps out my channel a lot. Now let's dive right in. Number 1. Toxic players. One of the biggest challenges of Rec Room is the prevalence of online harassment and toxicity. Just like in any online community, there are always a few individuals who seek to ruin the experience for others. Where are the parents? And why have they left little Timmy alone in a room, unmonitored to let his unbridled emotions loose on the rest of society? I don't know, but these toxic players seem to genuinely enjoy ruining someone's day. Actually, I don't even know if they think that far ahead. I like to think that they don't. But all I'm saying is, because this game is multiplayer and allows people to interact with each other in virtual environments in real time, there's always the risk of encountering players who engage in this kind of negative behavior. This can range from spamming and trolling to more serious forms of harassment. Now, Rec Room has taken steps to combat this with features such as reporting, blocking, and voice moderation, but it's still an issue that needs to be acknowledged. And it's up to all of us to help create a safe and welcoming environment for everyone by treating others with respect and reporting any inappropriate behavior we encounter, so there is that sense of accountability within the game. Number 2. In-game spending. Another downside of playing Rec Room is the temptation to spend money in the game. This game offers a variety of cosmetic items and customization options that can be purchased with real money, which can be tempting for players who want to stand out. However, this can quickly add up, leading to unexpected expenses and financial strain for those who can't keep their spending in check. Additionally, some players may feel pressured to spend money in order to keep up with other people who do have more in-game resources. FOMO, anyone? I know, speaking from personal experience, when Rec Room puts out limited time items, I feel tempted to buy them, even if I know I might never wear them. I scream, "Why am I like this?" internally as I hit the purchase button. Those pop-up storefronts that don't seem to have a clear expiration date are also a source of anxiety. Items can range from $5 to $20 in real money, and it's easy to forget this when transferring funds from your Quest 2 or Steam wallet. It just takes a moment, and then you have tokens. After the initial purchase, one tends to forget and spend those tokens a little too easily. Again, I speak from experience as I've done this no less than a dozen times, and as a YouTuber, I'm also tempted to gift people often. This is compounded by the fact that people perceive YouTubers as some endless source of tokens. FYI, we still pay real money for tokens too, people. Number 3. Addiction. While Rec Room can be a lot of fun, it's also easy to get caught up in the game and become addicted. This is especially true for players who spend a lot of time in the virtual world, as they may start to prioritize the game over real-life responsibilities. Additionally, the dopamine release that comes from completing tasks and achieving goals in the game can be addictive, leading to a cycle of constantly seeking out new challenges. Now, this is not a Rec Room specific problem, but perhaps gaming in general and definitely VR players are more susceptible, since it's a bigger escape than screen gaming. There was a time when I spent hours per day in Rec Room, and I felt I was definitely starting to avoid my real-life responsibilities. While the social aspect of it is alluring, it's easy to feel the need to spend hours and hours with your online friends in this environment and start to neglect your IRL routine. I'd go so far as to even say a fear of missing out when your friends are online and you're not. I've since reined in this behavior, fortunately, but it's a pitfall to the game that can't be understated or swept under the proverbial rug. Number 4. Isolation. Another disadvantage of playing too much Rec Room, and that goes hand in hand with addiction, is that it can lead to feelings of isolation. While Rec Room does offer a social environment where players can interact with each other, it can also become a way to escape from real-life relationships. The fact that everyone is a visually pleasing, perfect avatar, and one can forget their real-life appearance while playing the game, that can compound those feelings of isolation and personal dissatisfaction once someone is back in the real world. Making this list is actually making me realize how potentially harmful a seemingly harmless game can be. But I know many people who've been affected by these issues, so they can definitely be prevalent obstacles for those that play Rec Room often. Number 5. Privacy. Another challenge with Rec Room is privacy. Because it's an online platform, it's important to be mindful of the information you share, as well as the information that others share about you. And while Rec Room has implemented privacy settings, it's still important to be cautious and to educate yourself on how to protect your personal information. As an adult, I'm not so concerned about myself as I am for the kids that play this game and may forget this crucial point. You're playing with people who could potentially be getting to know you for the sole purpose of gleaning personal information from you. It's extremely important to be aware of people's intentions and protect your information. So don't give out your city name, your address, your school name, your full name, or anything that could be used to find you. It doesn't matter if you think you know someone and you hang out with them for hours every day in this game. Even if they're a peer, close to you in age, that doesn't mean that they can't or won't try to make your life hell with that information if you two stop being friends. That's the best case scenario if things go awry. The worst is that it could be someone pretending to be a kid who's really an adult, and we all know how disastrous those scenarios can be. I don't mean to sound dark, this is a therapeutic video after all, so I'm not going to go into the details of scenarios gone wrong when it comes to personal information being leaked. You can just use your imagination. It's Rec Room, but please protect yourself because it's still the internet. Number 6. Technical limitations. Rec Room was originally designed to run on VR headsets, which are expensive and require a high-end computer to run smoothly. With the addition of Rec Room Studios, this is an issue that may be compounded in the future, as many of those rooms are going to leg out standalone Quest 2 users who don't have a gaming PC. Additionally, Rec Room can have performance issues on older computers or VR headsets, leading to a subpar gaming experience. Quest 1 users don't even have access to some of the Rec Room original games, for example, and they also no longer receive game updates. Certain tablets and phones can't even run Rec Room, so while it's technically a cross-platform game, there are limitations, and this can be frustrating for players who want to fully enjoy what Rec Room has to offer but are limited by their technology or don't have VR. Number 7. Glitches and bugs. Rec Room is known for its slogan, ready, fire, aim, so it's tough to harp on them for this point. I do get where they're coming from. However, sometimes it feels as though things are a bit rushed. For example, when Showdown was released, expectations and hype were high. People quickly came to realize, though, that the guns didn't quite shoot right, and some lobbies were completely broken. It's fantastic that Rec Room gives us new content. We're always hungry for new stuff. However, if it's not running smoothly in a functional way, then it can just lead to disappointment for players. I've literally heard of builders who've seen game updates break their rooms, and they've become so aggravated over lost work that they've quit the game. It's sad to see. I know we're all trying to be patient as they sort things out, and they're usually apologetic. Following the Rec Room Discord server leads to efficient updates in real time as they attempt to fix these things, but fundamentally, it's still a source of angst for us as we continually see this happening. Number 8. Hackers. As with the glitches and bugs point that I made previously, hackers are another big drawback of the game, but one that it's tough to pinpoint responsibility for. Rec Room developers now have to stop what they're doing to future updates in the game and waste precious resources trying to stop these people from breaking everything. Rec Room could do more to put up barriers to stop hackers, but regardless, it's a deterrent for people who play, since sometimes hackers have unfair advantages. For example, that flying hack in Rec Royale many months ago. This damages the reputation of Rec Room and makes people not want to return to the game. Number 9. Limited options for games. Yes, there is more to Rec Room than the Rec Room originals. There's a whole world out there, community rooms that have their own games and places to explore. But let's face it, most of the time, the Rec Room originals are the most fleshed out and interactive, so that's what people tend to play the most. I'm sure with the advent of Rec Room Studios, this will change in the future, but for now, it's still the same 5 quests and few PvPs that people are hooked on, and 4 quests really, because no one has access to Crescendo. After playing Rec Room for a year or two, you can't tell me you're a little bored of those. So while the game itself isn't limited when it comes to experiences, I think it's safe to say that most diehard players quit the game due to boredom over the lack of Rec Room originals and new content. Rec Room is full of opportunities for adventure and social interaction. However, it is important to be aware of the issues facing players and to take steps to mitigate these challenges. That includes being mindful of online harassment, protecting your privacy, and setting boundaries for yourself to stay healthy. But of course, overall, the pros still outweigh the cons, and Rec Room is a great place to spend time. Whether you're looking for a new gaming experience, a way to connect with friends, or just a place to let your creativity run wild. If you want to keep watching Rec Room videos, check out this one here next.